This playing Trademark Esports in the next series later today, which of course is going to be the grand finals in a best-of-5 format with TDM. They will be up 1-0. But game number 3 has started, Ralph. We're ready. Are you good?
Yeah, we're good.
Feeling it? Let's just jump in. No time to waste here. We got Lions and Stay Green, game 3. Let's take a look. Whew. All right, so here we are. The blind bands coming out. Ophelia Parasite coming out from Lion. Wild Soul, Keeper of the Forest, coming out from Stay Green. So, very, very jungle heavy to say the least.
Yeah.
All 4 of those heroes for that matter. Obviously, Wild Soul especially. I mean, that hero has been the prime. He will be blind banned every game. I mean, I think there was maybe one game this whole cycle that we saw him played because he wasn't blind banned. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say Wild Soul right now is considered amongst all the top-tier competitive teams that we don't want to play against him. We don't want to deal with him.
Yeah, which is why I find it weird that first position sometimes will ban him out, but not in this case. And actually, Swindlemelons bans out Keeper of the Forest too, which he usually never bans out, but bans it out against Lions and doesn't want to have to deal with that. You know, specifically Hanskin played a very, very good Keeper of the Forest in Game 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, and we've made that point before. Swindlemelons doesn't necessarily ban the Keeper, but does ban it here with the Wild Soul and the Ophelia Parasite, the other two, so very jungle-heavy bans. The locks coming out, Master of Arms, the first lock from Hanskin, followed up by Pebbles Aluna from Swindle, and now back to Lion again. That Master of Arms they used in the first game. They even locked him up again. The second game didn't get picked, but they love to run that support Master. As for that matter, I don't even think we mentioned this, but Stay Green specifically, Slicks actually runs Master of Arms as more of a carry role too, so I guess it is possible that even both teams could eventually pick him up and have proven, for that matter, that they like him. So
yeah,
Hammerstorm, Wretched Hag are going to be the next couple here for Lion, and now we'll see Stay Green and what they choose as their overall final ban. Again, all those very, very jungle-heavy blind bands, and now we don't have any jungle locks so far. I mean, you still got something like Tempest on the board. Your Warbeast, of course, still a Legionnaire is definitely there. But we'll see. Will we see one here, or is Swindlemelons going to pass it up and maybe get banned as a result? So
I think at this point it'd be kind of silly to lock Tempest, to be honest.
True.
With all the other junglers being banned out, now you can see. I think Legionnaire still is so neglected, underrated in a sense that he doesn't get picked up that often anymore. But you know he's still there. Tempest is still there. I expect Tempest to get banned here through the banning phase. Also, I expect Engineer to get banned out, at least from Stay Green. That hero is just proven every single game he's played. I really want to see the win percentage of him because he just seems to do work in every single game I watch him in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interested to see what we have here through the banning phase. Fade starts it out.
Yeah, Fade, there's Draconis. I want to say Swindlemelons actually bans Draconis a lot himself. Again, Draconis in general, though, very popular. There's a Warbeast ban, so Lion may try to be a little bit crafty here. They may try to get that Tempest. If Stay Green doesn't ban him, there's the Moon Queen ban coming out. So if you ban something like the Legionnaire here, that will kind of force Stay Green really to ban that Tempest especially. But if not, then say you ban the Legionnaire, they don't ban Tempest for whatever reason, then you can pick up Tempest. And again, there really isn't any jungle options then left over for Stay Green. So going to be interesting to see how this finishes here. It is going to be a silhouette ban actually coming out. But now it's back to Stay Green. They are going to ban Tempest. Okay, so really that kind of now leaves only the Legionnaire as far as a legitimate jungler that we can expect to see. But you mentioned expect to see Engineer banned.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Engineer first picked by Hanskin there.
Don't blame him at all. This hero is so strong in any kind of dueling with another stunner. And it just synergizes so well with every hero, especially the heroes that have point stuns, or even Pebbles. His stun isn't like a point stun, but it's pretty close too. Like it's very easy to set up. Has some decent range onto it as well. So yeah, Engineer, I'm no surprise at all right there with that pick.
Yeah, so a good start here for Lions. Now over to Stay Green, of course. I'm sure it's going to be good for them, but what they go with is the question. Obviously, you got your Tundra still left open this time around. Plenty of carry options as always. You got your Meraxis. I know he's popular. Magmus has kind of died off a little bit lately, honestly. A whole lot of Magmus play. It seems like kind of Hammerstorm has stepped up as more of that role instead. As you know, in a sense, kind of different roles, I guess, but the same kind of just strength. Hero that can farm and get the earlier portal key and whatnot. But
Magmus doesn't have as strong of a laning presence is the reason why. Like Pebbles has a strong kill. It's all about kill potential. With Pebbles Engineer, you have kill potential. With Pebbles, Aluna, you have kill potential. With Hammerstorm, Aluna, or Engineer, you have kill potential. With Aluna, like Magnus, you could possibly have kill potential, like if there's one hero there. But if there's another dual lane, it's not nearly as strong. And I think that's the bottom line.
Deadwood again going to be picked up here, and look at that. Now, they were right-clicking that last game, and I thought for sure that was just a case of maybe just trolling or whatever. Apparently not. Apparently they like Myrmidon, because they're going to go that here. And, you know, see, but this is the thing, though. Again, Skyzo hasn't really been playing lately, you know, for the cycle especially. Granted, he was on them when they were the Cycle 3 champions, so he's a great player, of course. But, you know, with using a support here like Myrmidon, that's very interesting, unless it might be played by Z-Freak instead. But I guess with no jungler, that could actually be very possible now that I think about it. So,
yeah.
And nonetheless, though, very curious about the Myrmidon pick here.
They're certainly going to need some point stuns or, you know, just easy stuns for Myrmidon to synergize with, because Myrmidon's not too good. One of her weaknesses, or it's not, I don't mean not too good in general, but just is not good when she doesn't have other stunners on her team to set them up. So, I mean, there's a lot in that lockpick pool, so that's for sure. Glacius Engineers picked up by, Glacius Pharaoh picked up by Lions. So they are not running a jungler as well. They're going to go to some kind of 2-2-1 sort of laning. So interested to see what they pick up out of the lockpick phase. Maybe something like a Wretched Hag. Well, no, they already have their solo, so they're going to need maybe 2 different stunners, but one of them presumably will be taken by SG, either that Hammer or the Pebbles. So interesting to see how Lions finishes it up. Kind of curious about that. But yeah, Myrmidon, if you have some good stunners by your side, very, very strong.
You know what's kind of interesting? The fact that we have Zephyr left open, especially with like Dimension Shaman there. Holy crap! What is going on? Swiftblade just picked up by Stay Green.
Is Slicks in the pink position?
See, Slicks did show that he has this Swiftblade strat with the Portal Key. I think it was the Portal Key, Helm of the Black Legion, I want to say. Like kind of the farm that he goes, and he just basically becomes like a massive initiator earlier on, and takes advantage of the spin earlier on with that said, and setting up ganks. So,
well, you already have that though in Deadwood. So like,
yeah,
seems, I don't know. Also, Swiftblade is not good against Engineer. He is not good. He's okay against Pharaoh, I suppose, because you can just use your Swift or your spin against all the stuns and whatnot. Pebbles and Aluna taken up from Stay Green. I like that. And then Hammerstorm and, well, Hammerstorm was the last one on top of Wretched Hag. So we could possibly see a straight-up tri-lane from Lions and a solo Hag, solo Pharaoh. They could also do dual lanes with, perhaps a dual lane with Pharaoh, dual lane with Hammer and Engineer. That's a possibility as well. But, yeah, very curious to see how this Swiftblade plays out this game.
Yeah, man, this is rare for what the big thing that's sitting out to me is, again, no junglers in either team. It's rare nowadays we see that. So that is kind of cool to see for at one point. But also the possibility, I kind of wonder if one of these two teams is going to try to, you know, make it a 3 versus 3 lane here. And if you think of the possibilities, I mean, in my mind, you got something like an Aluna Myrmidon Pebbles versus a Hammerstorm Glacius Engineer. Just think of the chaos that can ensue as a result of that if they meet up in a lane. So, yeah.
Now, Slicks has been pulled a lot of regen. This makes me this tells me that we might see a suicide Swiftblade. We might. He could also be suicide in the sense that he's soloing in the short lane. That might be the same kind of idea. Now, the good thing with him, I suppose, as a suicide hero, is that you can use that spin to disjoint some of the stuns coming out, namely from Hammerstorm, or the keg stun, because they have travel time. You can see them coming in the air, so it's easy to disjoint that with a spin. But does it really warrant a full pick? I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I did, in a sense, jokingly bring up Swiftblade yesterday, even, and I kind of we're just randomly pointing out heroes, but he can hit pretty hard. I mean, the what is it called? The Way of the Sword, as it's called, the crit passive. It can allow him to hit pretty hard. You know, if RNG's is in favor both with that, and then of course his Swift Slashes, he could definitely do quite a bit of damage. So. Has definitely carry potential in that sense. And also his counterattack, I think, is... Okay. I was going to say underrated, but...
There's my opinion on it, on the counterattack there, Breaky.
Quick opinion. I think I understand.
It just doesn't do very much, to be honest, in my opinion. Like you'd think that, okay, cool, counters the attack, it deals damage to them, but yeah, 30% chance, it's still a chance. It still has RNG. It really doesn't hurt them that much. Like, 30% of the time that the hero is hitting themselves in the late stages of the game for maybe 200 damage, it's like, I don't know. And then there's all the mitigation, of course, with armor and what have you. So, yeah, I don't know. But I will say he's a fun hero to play. And he's a fun hero to watch, which is why I'm excited to see Slicks play him.
He's not using the ultimate avatar, though. I'm kind of disappointed in that.
Oh, boo.
Albeit this skin's pretty cool, too. So.
Boo.
Yeah. That or the Afro Samurai would have been cool. I like him, too. Anyways, look at this. All 5 stay green, and they're not going the usual route. They're going to try to be a little bit crafty here, cutting through the trees. Stalagmite attempt maybe just out of range. And Lion, it looks like they should be able to see it coming and fall back. So a little bit sneaky there from Stay Green, cutting through the trees, going a little bit different of a path. Almost worked out for them. But, again, the Stalagmites were just out of range. He didn't even use them, of course, but Swindle knew that. Or Keizu, actually. Ooh, Keizu, yeah, playing the Pebbles here, but was aware of that, so choosing not to use it. And into the laning phase, we now begin to go. So Lion, it looks like that tri-lane setting up bottom. And guess what? Stay Green also looking like they may be setting up a tri-lane bottom with actually Deadwood, Aluna, Myrmidon. So expect some crazy stuff to happen down here.
Yeah, and like I said, it's kind of a suicide of Swift up top. Like, it's not in a suicide lane, but he's going against the Suicide Wretched Hag. And he does have pooled regen. Now, the only thing about this is, okay, if Wretched Hag decides to level up the Haunt, yeah, you can get rid of it by the spin from Swift, but that's wasting his entire spin. I don't think it's really worth it for him to do that because the Haunt is such a low cooldown, especially low mana cost. So I'm very interested to see how this lane pans out. I really am.
No, actually, Stay Green a little bit different than I expected. They do send Aluna mid currently, and well, Myrmidon also rotating. So it's almost as if they're going to make this a 2-2-1 setup here. I wonder if Myrmidon's going to go all the way top. It looks like he is. So Stay Green doesn't want to match up this tri versus tri lane down here at the bottom lane. Instead, they're going to kind of leave Swindle down here by himself on Deadwood. But they want to make sure both Pebbles and Swiftblade get some good farm. What do you make of this adjustment here?
Well, it's like Wretched Hag, I think, was assuming that she was going to be suicide anyway, so she's kind of prepared for that. And Swift plus Myrmidon, how the hell are they going to kill Wretched Hag? Like, that is never going to happen. So Wretched Hag is actually going to have a pretty damn good time up here. Yeah, it's very, very curious. And then the Suicide Deadwood, he's going to get absolutely nothing because he came here late, he adjusted. They did not ward the pull. It's ready to be pulled right now, so he will not get any experience down here. And now you have a dual lane mid of Pharaoh and Glacius, which isn't exactly the strongest dual lane mid, but it should be okay against this. Pharaoh should be able to get some good creep kills here and there. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think against Wretched Hag, the Wheat Field actually does connect there with Wretched Hag. But it's like, if you have a spin come out, he's just going to blink away. He uses the blink right there. The wave is pushing up. He's going to get a lot of these creeps, at least for experience. So, yeah, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I mean, so maybe the kill potential might not fully be there, but in the end, you could say you could help Swiftblade, I guess, and kind of protect him. But yeah, the lane definitely getting pushed up. The Flensmeister will probably hit level 3 here if it works out for him. But yeah, the bottom lane, you talked about the adjustment that was made as a result from Lions. They sent the Glacius mid and Engineer staying bottom. Now look at Deadwood. He's actually coming mid with an Invis rune, so this could be a little bit crafty here from Stay Green, but apparently Pharaoh and Glacius, they know something's up. They probably, do they have vision down here? Yes, they do. So they definitely saw it being picked up. So yeah, they know Deadwood's at least probably nearby, or he's definitely invis somewhere. So they're playing very patient here, as they should be. Hopefully they don't get too overzealous though. But I don't know. Pharaoh kind of creeping up there.
He's getting some creep kills actually with the snipes out from Tormented Soul and using his hatchet. So he's up to 8, which is not nearly as many as Pebbles had, but they did adjust and had to deal with the dual lane mid initially from Pebbles and Luna. But yeah, I mean, Deadwood not able to set up anything right there. I thought, and I think he maybe should have, just kind of soaked up some experience bottom. It would have been completely free. Maybe looking to set up something now top as a result of not being able to do anything bottom, but his invis is fading, and now it's gone, but still want to try something up here. I don't know. They'll have to be very smart about it.
Oh my god, it actually connected. He'll blink.
Look.
I'm sorry.
Stay there! Stay there,
Hold on. Wait, Wretched Hag, I'm not on you yet. Let me spin on top of you. Hold on. Oh boy, that was...
This is so funny. He was like 400 yards away.
He wasn't even close. There was absolutely no damage done from Swiftblade there yet. He tried. You got to give him A for effort, I guess.
Just wait 1 second.
Oh boy, yeah, that gank attempt, to say the least, failed. I mean, they did a good job of landing their abilities. I will say, it seemed like obviously Wretched Egg was caught off guard by the log stun. Got hit, and actually in the
Mid
middle
lane.
lane. Hold on, Chuck back on to Farrell right there. Deadwood is here as well. Only has that log stun to use, the mini stun that is. Farrell running away though. He doesn't have the Hellfire use just yet. He's going to mummy wall right there. He does trap Deadwood in with him, and there we go with the slowdown. Nice power throw, and actually Bloodlust kill will come out in favor of State Green. So having a little bit of fun there at the top lane, but Deadwood does eventually roam back mid, and sure enough, helps set up a gank in the middle lane to get the Bloodlust kill. And actually, Wretched Egg in a little bit of trouble here. She is out of mana, although she does have mana charges on the battery, so she should be fine. But yeah, this roaming Deadwood strategy, it actually gets a Bloodlust kill, so.
He gets the Bloodlust kill, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough. They're not able to utilize the pull. Okay, he did actually just counter this, so good job by Z-Freak. He countered the ward there that was blocking the pull. He's going to have that to work with as far as getting levels for himself. So, likewise of what Engineer has done. Engineer is now level 3, has a couple creep kills under his belt, and basically complete free farm now for Krebson. Another interesting thing to note is that Krebson is playing the Hammerstorm, and normally Super KGE actually plays this for his team, but this time he's actually playing the Pharaoh. He did play it earlier on today, but yeah, I just normally see him play the Hammerstorm.
Yeah, again, and kind of players, and for that matter, I mentioned KZU playing Pebbles. You usually wouldn't see that, honestly, but it's just the makeup and how it really worked out. So, yes, it's kind of fun to say that now, since you miss trial lanes. So, making the point that when trial lanes were very popular, it did promote very passive play for the most part. Of course, that's Fnatic was really dominant. Was during that trial lane era. Really cool, but don't see those really anymore. But I assume that's him kind of making a jab at the whole passivity of the game. But anyways, right now it is a 1-0 kill, obviously in favor of State Green. 5.5 minutes into this game right now. But yeah, KZU playing the Pebbles again, just kind of how it worked out as a result of the heroes and whatnot that were picked up. So speaking of Hammerstorm, though, Krebson literally has that free farm down here. Absolutely just undistracted. He is 34-19, and so it is showing when it comes to his free farm. Missing one right there, actually, but got a little bit nervous, I guess, with me watching him or something.
Oh, mid lane.
Mid lane. Oh, yeah, I was watching Wretched Egg running away, but Pharaoh does get caught there, and Super KG falls. So again, Swinamelon's helping to set up a kill. In fact, getting the kill right there in the middle lane. So the roaming Deadwood again, coming through. Strikes again. Yeah,
and it's going to pick up a Haste Rune now top, and it's going to bottle it up actually by Pebbles. So, yeah, I will say that the Pharaoh mid lane in a dual lane with Glacius is just, it's kind of awkward. Like I said, it's not bad. He should be able to get some creep kills. He does have 20 under his belt, but Pebbles and Luna. I talk about kill lanes, and you were asking why don't we see Magnus anymore, and why we see like Pebbles and Hammerstorm and Miraxis, because those are kill lanes, man. You can get kills with them, and they're showing right now just why you can do that.
Deadwood actually, look at this ward is side placed by Deadwood, by the way, here at the top lane. Very, I'm guessing that gets some good vision behind the tower here. And, will kind of allow them to go for a dive attempt if they choose. Triple stack on the Legion side for the Ancients, and I think Swinamelon just saw that. So I kind of wonder if the Hellborn team may try to be kind of sneaky a little bit and go over them, maybe steal it. But they are going to go for the dive here, it looks like maybe, on a Wretched Hack here in the near future. I'm not... Okay, can you actually cut through here? Wow. That'd be kind of interesting if you can't. No, he still wants to get a range with the wrong guy. Great wrong press. There comes a Waitfield, and a spin from Swiftblade will get the kill. Z-Freak actually got credit. That was actually pretty damn good play. I definitely didn't see that coming, but well played, well placement by Swindle there with the rotten grass, cutting through the trees to get in range. Yeah, and gets the kill, so good execution.
It actually didn't even land on him initially. Wretched Hack walked back into it from the aggression that was coming out from both Z-Freak and Slicks there. So we kind of walked into that, and then obviously with the Rotten Grasp on you, you cannot blink. It's an immobilizing effect. And in general, I didn't even mention this, but just in general, Deadwood is a fantastic hero against Wretched Hag.
Yeah.
And showing right there. So they're able to get some kills successfully. Bottom lane is getting pressured by this time. The glyph goes out. Should be a deny. Oh, it was close actually, but it is denied there. So they do mitigate some gold there for the Legion team.
Yeah, that invulnerability was literally at the last second, and one Monotech obviously was dead. So. Barely was hitting on time, and Engineer tried, Hanskin tried to get that last hit in there, but just wasn't going to work. So good deny coming out from State Green. And right now, again, it's kind of been a not too passive a game. We've had some good action, but is in favor of State Green. About 1,100 gold lead experience, not much of a difference. But again, keep looking back at Krebson and his farm. But Swiftblade, especially after that kill, however, he is really starting to jump up there now himself. 345 gold per minute, actually. He does have Ghost Marchers and the early Life Tube here. already picked up. So
I feel like Krebson's missed a lot of CS here. I feel like nearly 9 minutes at 51 CS. He should be up closer to the like 60 plus, 70 almost creep score down here. And so kind of one thing to know, because I'm trying to pit. I know that B-Kid plays a lot of free farming Hammerstorm sometimes. I'm thinking right around this time, especially even though the tower did get denied, I'm thinking right around this time he nearly has his portal key. I know we've seen it before, so I'm feeling like Krebson has missed several creep kills down here.
yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. And again, this goes back to the fact that he has been free farming. There's been very little to no distractions for him. So
and top lane, you can argue the same thing. Well, Swiftblade only has 58, but he started out 1v1 with Wretched Hag for just a little bit of time. And Wretched Hag is not a hero that you can, like, she's been up in the suicide lane this whole time. If Deadwood was standing down there the whole time at bottom, he wouldn't get anything, which is why he roamed around.
Yeah.
So Wretched Hag was able to, and actually Wretched Hag has 25 CS, if you want to compare that, so.
Yeah, Flensmeister not too shabby up here at the top lane. He also is level 6, has that to work with. Speaking of level 6, Pharaoh also level 6. Has that Wrath of the Pharaoh to use if they find the correct opportunity. Swiftblade is going to continue pushing, though, here in the top lane. Definitely don't think it's going to be a tower kill, but denying some creeps there in the meantime as well before he starts to fall back again with those Ghost Marchers. So, again, we talked about this. There was a dream hack where he did play that Swiftblade, and I believe it was like a Helm of the Black Legion portal key build that he went for. So I'm very curious if
I think it's going to be it again.
that's what he goes for, yeah. We'll see here if he purchases a Beast Heart or not. But that, or of course you do got the Rune Cleaver option.
I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be the Helm of the Black Legion.
Okay, there you go.
And there it is. It's going to provide active play for his team and just constant roaming around, fighting as a team. And they have the stuns and CC and all that jazz to do it. Like Pebbles, he has his stun combination. Myrmidon, if you set up a stun, his weed fields are sorry, Z-Freak does a really good job on Myrmidon. He's a very fantastic Myrmidon player. And so you have a lot working with you. It'll just keep up the aggression, being able to man up earlier.
Yeah. So there you go. Beast Heart delivered. Helm finished as a result. Good to go there. You see Pebbles in the meantime in the middle lane. Another 1350 gold saved up, actually, so he might be going for that portal key next in line. Deadwood also picking up farm where he can. He actually does have Steam Boots finished himself. Again, this has basically been a roaming Deadwood, so not too shabby there for Swindle. Pharaoh level 7, and portal key... Okay, it wasn't just purchased, actually. He had enough gold for it, but I think he might have purchased like a Homecoming Stone or something. So Hammerstorm will have that portal key, however, here coming up shortly. And so again, we'll see if he tries to make quick use of that. Triple stack Ancients in the meantime, going to be comboed by Pebbles. He really wants to make sure to get this kill. He does have a regen rune bottled up, getting some assistance here from Aluna. And we'll eventually finish them off as he chucks another one right there. Needs to be a little bit careful. Getting somewhat low, but Aluna going to tank some fire damage for him. And he should be fine. But again, that portal key actually, especially when he finishes cleaning this up right here, it's going to be really close. Okay, so he's just out of range of it, but...
I think Aluna got one of those as well.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even two, but
Ooh, well.
he's going to clean that up. Yeah, it would have been his portal key right there. That kind of sucks. Ward placed right there by Hanskin. He's been a little bit quiet here in this game so far. I mean, there have only been 3 kills, both on the side of Stay Green. Their jungle is actually very heavily stacked as well, or at least 2 camps are.
Yeah.
One of them tripled up here. Their main pole camp is also tripled as well.
Yep, it definitely is. And actually, well, there's Wretched Hag. Okay, yeah, she's fine. But, yeah, Hammerstorm does have the level 1 into the Mighty Swing. He has it currently deactivated, but he definitely has that cleave ability to use. However, Engineer and Wretched Hag actually are going to clean up these stacks, as Wretched Hag actually uses the Sun Stream right there to finish off all those. So Flensmeister getting some decent farm from that, as we saw. But yeah, Hammerstorm doesn't have that currently activated, wants to keep from pushing the lane up so aggressively, of course. It's just going to continue to farm, it looks like. So this will continue to be more of just the passive gameplay here between these two teams. And it's still only 13 minutes in, so it's not like it's later in the game by any means. But do you think this? Do you think that we could be seeing more aggression now by either one of these teams, Joe?
Yeah, well, you have the portal key up on the Pebbles, so that could cue a push plus some kind of aggression after the push. And if Alliance decides to defend this, you're going to get a team fight coming out from both teams. And I think that with the numbers advantage in favor of Stay Green, that they will have a better time. So all 5 are actually up here pushing this top lane. The tower is actually very close to dying anyway. And I actually don't even expect Alliance to put up a fight here, even with the portal key up on the hammer. So
Well, again, Swiftblade. And actually, you know what? More I'm thinking about it, there was that. It was TT Esports versus Q Squad in the DreamHack event, and I believe that comeback game, that was that epic comeback where they were down by so much and they ended up winning. TT Esports, that is, where Slicks, of course, was playing for them. I believe he was playing Swiftblade that game, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of just hitting me. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, it's just kind of a side note right there. But we have a big-time initiation going to be coming out. Joe missing right there. Hammerstorm jumps, and there's the Engineer Ultimate. But that Sweat Slash is bouncing around from Swiftblade. He's in the front row, spinning right now on top of everyone. Glacier's going to start falling. Pebbles will fall. Looks like Bruce Strength is active. Swiftblade will fall as well. Wrath of the Pharaoh going to be on him, and he goes down to Luna. The Kexon just out of range because of that Deja Vu, but the Hasten Pharaoh chasing. Look at that Deja Vu pour coming up from Luna.
Wow.
And oh my god, I think Skyzo may live as a result of that. Well played. Myrmidon is going to get caught out, however, but excellent escape from Skyzo. That does prevent the genocide, but still, when it's all said and done, Lions Esports Club wins that fight.
Very well played by Skyzo. That was very, very crafty, but the biggest thing is Keizu blinked into the Engineer ult and didn't get anything off.
Oof.
He blinked into it, got silenced immediately. Obviously, even if you blink in, you don't have to actually touch it. Just like going through it like that with a blink will silence you. And as a result, just got it decimated right there. And also, I don't know really what was attacking him this whole time. It must have been the ulted Hammerstorm, but Swiftblade dropped really fast.
Yeah.
Despite having that Helm of the Black Legion. So, I don't know. Maybe it was the Hammerstorm just beating into him and whatnot. But he died really fast. The Bat Blast hit a number of different heroes, but the big thing was that energy field was just perfectly placed, and Keizu blinked right into it.
Remember, that was the first pick. You talked about it going in the banning phase. So you expect to see him banned. Wasn't banned. First pick for Lions, and definitely having an impact there in that fight. So.
Yeah.
Good news for Lions, of course, and yeah, I'm sure Hammerstorm, no doubt, he does plenty of damage. Even only with Steamboot's Portal Key, when he activates that Brute Strength, he will be hitting very hard. And he is close to level 11, so that's going to make it go from, I think it's 125, or 100 to 125% of his base damage. So a little bit more on top of that. He's also, he did choose to once again max out the Galvanize, by the way, and we talked about that last game, specifically against Deadwood. I know Swiftblade obviously big against him. Engineer's going to get picked off right here. A lot used right there, a couple of Portal Keys, but here comes a counter initiation. Pharaoh jumps in. Hammerstorm is also nearby. He's going to help follow this up. In fact, he's going to blink in right here. The Galvanize is going to be used, and yes, Pebbles will fall when it's all said and done, but despite the Wheatfield, Hammerstorm's son will hit a Luna. He couldn't destroy it right there. Luna will fall. Rotten Grass comes out. Deadwood wants on blood. He's going to go for the Falcon Punch on the Hammerstorm, but the Galvanize was still up, I believe, so plenty of armor, but Hammerstorm going to be turned, and Swiftblade level 11 tears through him, has Swift Flashes up in 1 second, doesn't have the mana for it though, so won't be able to take advantage of that. A port is coming in. Is that a buyback by chance? No, there was no buyback. Engineer does come back in though, and actually, oh, the Portal Key from Swiftblade going to be used. Myrmidon, can he get away? No, that Kexton connects, and he will fall, so it ends off pretty well for Lions with a pickoff right there, but still some good fight put up at least from Stay Green, but I think Lions, you can argue again, maybe come out on top there.
Oh, they definitely did. What was that, a 1-for-3 exchange?
I think it was 2 for
1 for
3.
2 because, yeah, Hanskin died right away. So it's 1 for, or 2 for 3, sorry.
2 for 3, yeah.
But you still have Wretched Hag that lived and Keizu died. And that's pretty huge. Oh, there's the Swiftblade picking up the Portal Key.
Yeah, he had that.
I love Portal Key. You know what's funny is that he picks up a Portal Key so fast on a Swift, but never picks it up on the Silhouette. Like, what the... Never mind.
Another point to make about that. Yeah.
But no, I love Portal Key on Swift. I think it's really, really strong. He needs to get that mana pool up, though. As you mentioned, he kind of goes out of mana very, very quickly. After just 1 or 2 spins, he can't use his...
Swift Slashes. It's
Swift
expensive. Level 2 is 275 mana on a melee agility hero like this. That's... He does not have the biggest mana pool, of course, as you can see, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you are right. Getting that mana pool up and...
Just a little bit. Not much, but also using the blink. I'm pretty sure he can't blink Blade Frenzy and Swift Flashes right away. That's 185...
Plus the 275.
Yeah.
Math on the spot.
So
I don't think you can. Yeah, I think that definitely is too much for his mana pool right now, so you're right. That's something to keep in mind. Wretched Hag, by the way, I made sure of this, and yeah, he actually did end up going to Sacrificial Stone as his first item, really. Rare to see this item, honestly, in the competitive scene nowadays. But picks it up, not only picked it up, but picked it up first. So,
okay.
Going the armor route when we talked about the maxed out Galvanize from Hammerstorm, now a Sacrificial Stone for the team. That's plus 3 armor, I believe it is.
Yeah, and you can apply it all the time.
Yep. The upkeep is 100%, so.
I like it, actually. You know, we don't see it that often, but I do like it. I think it's a fine build-up item for him.
Hammerstorm is level 11, so again, we don't see this route too often, but Hammerstorm is definitely the carry hero in this game here for Lion Esports Club, and it's working so far. I mean, he is farming very well, continuing to 340 gold per minute. Slicks, on the other hand, also farming very well, is now up to 390 GPM here. playing the Swiftblade, and currently another 1,300 gold saved up, it looks like. So good news there for our Hellborn team. Super KGE, he has his home now as well as a steam boost. So it seems like he's actually recovered pretty well. He's also level 11 on top of that. So yeah, he's definitely kind of stepped up a little bit here. And again, more good news for the Legion side. Both teams, they have plenty of initiation, honestly. So it's just a matter, you know, as we've seen in these last couple of fights, both teams kind of blinking in back in and forth. So speaking of that, Deadwood has 1260 gold saved up. So again, Swindle doing his best, playing this roaming Deadwood early on. He is actually getting closer and closer to a portal key himself if he stays from dying here. So
yeah. The only problem now that I feel with the Swift pickup in general as your carry is just, and maybe he's not really playing him as a carry, he's playing him as an initiator, but like I mentioned, you already had Deadwood for that role. So if you're playing him as your carry, it seems kind of interesting. You also have Pebbles, for that matter, as that role. But once he jumps in and he uses that spin, you can't do anything other than that. Like, you can't auto-attack. Once your spin is done and you just ulti, and you auto-attack, it's just auto-attacks. There's no special attribute about it. It's not like Dark Lady, we have charging strikes all the time at a low cooldown, and then the silence, and the Taint Soul, and Mage Bane if you have it. You can blink around all the time and mana burn, but him it's just auto-attacks. And even through the Swiftblade, the spin, you can still damage him quite a lot, as we saw last team fight with just pure physical damage from Hammerstorm or anybody. So it's kind of awkward.
To put it, I'm thinking about that now, what you're saying. So you got heroes like Draconis and Moon Queen. In a sense, they're kind of right-click heroes like Swiftblade is. But what's the biggest difference? Those are ranged heroes, obviously. Swiftblade being a melee hero, you know, he's already at that, you know, that deficit or that fault.
Well, even like Dark Lady, even though she's not ranged, she has she has more abilities to use with her auto attacks.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, agreeing with you. I'm not like comparing him to. Like, sure, so if you are going to compare to, like, right-click heroes, like, again, your Moon Queen Draconis, there's the disadvantage, so.
I always thought would have been, a cool change for Swiftblade is have the ability to toggle your spin off if you wanted to.
I've heard about that, yeah.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I thought that's one of the things. Is like, okay, what if you spin in there, Hammerstorm's just beating you down, and you need to, like, I don't know, it's just, you need to do some auto attacks to do more damage, because in the late stage of the game you want to auto attack, not use your spin, because your spin doesn't do damage.
See, I don't know, but obviously the argument to that is that you're basically giving him something like a stone hide from Predator or something like that, where it gets you out of it. Basically, it's a free shrunken head for that duration on activation, and then if you can turn it off, so
well, it's not increasing it. Like, it's not increasing the duration; it's just giving you the chance to
toggle it off. But I guess then that's where the downside comes into play. It's like, it is powerful in that sense. So to have a downside like where you have to keep it on, and you're not doing those. They did change it, obviously. Well, this was a long time ago now. What it used to be where he didn't even attack when he was spinning, even at level 4. But they did change it a long time ago, where at least at level 4 he actually does get some auto attacks in. So
well, it also used to attack faster, if I'm not mistaken. And the common build on him for the longest time was Elder Parasite Frostburn. When those actually, I believe those actually stacked. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you would just be like, you'd attack so quickly through the spin, and they changed that. But yeah. So basically what I'm getting at is once you spin, it's kind of like you're all in with that spin.
Yeah. I agree, yeah. So yeah, you definitely got to be careful about using that spin later on in the game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because, yeah, you're not doing nearly as much damage in the later game stages. More passivity coming out here, though, after a little bit of action. So it's not been the most passive game by any means, but at this point for the last 5 minutes or so, it seems like both teams pretty content on farming now. In fact, Mighty Blade on Hammerstorm, so that Shrunken Head possibility coming up. Hellflower being worked on by Wretched Hag, so again, going that Sacrificial Stone first item, is now finishing up some Arcanas here on her way. Look at this, Engineer actually 1960 gold saved up. He's actually very close to a portal key. He's level 10 too.
And he's farming down here in the bottom lane. He gets a couple creep kills right there. Gets it. Oh, he misses that one. Just needs one more creep kill and he'll have it. He really wants it, I'm sure. He'll get this here. He has a TP ready to go. It looks like the tower will fall because they don't have Engineer. Oh,
here we go. Pharaoh jumps in actually in the background. The tower is just about to fall. Invulnerability goes up. Wretched Hag gets caught with the wheat field, and Wretched Hag will fall in the background. Meanwhile, up here, Swiftblade is dropping. Hammerstorm is as well, though. Swiftblade just doing a little bit more damage. He is going to be silenced. Hammerstorm on the run with that Galvanize. Here comes the wheat field attempt from Mirabel, who is in ulti form. Will chase down Inner. Hammerstorm jumps back in. Oh, he portal keys away right before the final attack. No, Deadwood follows it, though, with his own portal key and takes him out. So very risky move. Does not pay off right there. Pharaoh, the sole survivor for Lion. They did get the kill in the Switchblade, but now Pharaoh is on the run. He should be fine. So again, the tower, it was killed, I believe, yes, by the Hellborn side, and on top of that, they win with a 4-for-1 exchange. Granted, they lost Switchblade, but SG winning a fight right there.
Well, a couple things about that. Okay, Engineer, he died, but he picked up his portal key right before he died, which is really, really good for him. But they clearly didn't want to, like, at least Hanskin didn't. They clearly didn't want to fight that without Engineer. And literally, right as Deadwood blinked in, Pharaoh also ulted in behind him. So that happened at the exact same time, and Wretched Hag died, and it wasn't able to get any help from, like, say, Pharaoh or what have you. But they just needed to kind of give that up. They needed to just give up the tower, wait for the portal key to be up on Engineer, and then fight from there. It was just kind of like a little bit of miscommunication right there.
Yeah, obviously, we're 23 minutes into the game right now. Losing a first tower like that in the middle lane, not the biggest deal in the world. So, yeah, you can definitely argue really poor decision from Lion Esports Club to even commit to a fight. But in the end, Stay Green will gladly take it, not only getting the tower kill, but obviously getting a 4-for-1 exchange, like I said. So, Hammerstorm is back up, as is Swiftblade for that matter, going back to farm. But Wretched Hag, her farm really has jumped up herself. She's now up to 316 gold per minute. Ooh, the top lane, by the way, Super KG on that Pharaoh will get picked off. A big thing to note about that last fight, as we saw for that matter, is that, again, Deadwood also has his portal key now. Talk about, you know, either him or Pebbles, very scary once they get portal keys. It's very rare to see them on the same team. To see a Deadwood and a Pebbles, who both have portal keys now. And actually even a Tablet picked up by Kizu as well, playing this Pebbles, so even further movement and whatnot, you can say, for these two heroes. So that is good for Stay Green, having more tools to work with in that sense. Again, the Wretched Hag, they double Arcana, so trying to finish her third for that Hellflower. Level 11 Engineer will need to be careful here at the bottom lane. If he exposes himself, he could very likely be picked off, and he will start striding back. So he'll get back just fine. But again, he's level 11. He has a portal key on his Engineer. That is big. That is really big for this Legion team. You stressed earlier how important that is against this Hellborn side. And
he has good levels, too. He's got a level 2 ult ready to go as well. But, yeah, good. They have strong initiation. 3 portal keys now on the Hellborn team. And you're really looking for some more core items coming out from Lions. The Hellflower is up in a little bit for Wretched Hag. Shrunken Head finished in about 800 gold for Hammerstorm, and these are items that they really, really need. They are actually trailing in gold and experience. The experience is actually pretty close, pretty identical, but they are trailing by 3,700 gold.
Bottom lane, a lot of action could be happening. And in Fizz Pharaoh, he is going to jump on a Myrmidon right there. Myrmidon, he is going to be able to wait for him out, actually, despite the Mummy Walls being up. In comes the energy field from Engineer. Aluna was picked off right off the bat. Myrmidon now trying to run. Meanwhile, in the background, we have more portal keys being used, and Myrmidon will ultimately fall. So that was just all the Legion team. Stay Green wasn't really fully there to support in time, and a great couple of picks coming out for Lions as Super KGE actually picks up a double tap there throughout that exchange. So, again, great couple of picks for Lions.
Well, as Hammerstorm blinked in and used the stun on a Myrmidon, he actually waveformed into the Aluna and stunned her as well. And then, obviously, the energy field, once it's placed, you can't initiate into it. You cannot blink into it. Yeah. There's no way, unless you already have a Shrunken Head activated, which is not up on anybody. And it doesn't look like anyone's going for one either. So, big pickoffs right there. And it looked like they were actually baiting Myrmidon. Like they wanted to be calling them, but that just did not work out at all.
Yeah, didn't have that in mind. And I do find this interesting how you can waveform through the Mummy Walls, as we saw right there. I think also Kraken's charge also goes through the Mummy Walls as well. I always find that kind of odd how that's even allowed to happen, but nonetheless it can. Swiftblade, by the way, again, Slicks does continue to be the top farm in the game. He has 385 gold per minute, so we cannot forget about him. He's level 15 also, so he will be level 3, which will give him, he'll go from 5 to 8 bounces now on those Swift Slashes, so that's good. He has a Firebrand Helm, the Abyssal Skull picked up on top of that portal key. So going an interesting build here, to say the least, but it is his own unique one at that. Granted, he is playing Swiftblade after all. Yeah. Hellflower just finished on the Wretched Hag, so we got a very big item pick up there. This bottom tower, that's more like it. Lions is like, okay, not worth fighting there. You go ahead and have it. Not worth defending at this point.
Yeah, the only problem is that they don't have anyone else like counter pushing or farming another lane, so they're basically getting nothing out of tower. They're not trading it like experience in the jungle for farm or for the tower or anything like that. So They're going to get spotted out here, though. Oh, they noticed the wards there.
There we go. Wrath of the Pharaoh connects on a Pebbles right there. He does have a talent. He's going to talent forward. Deadwood jumps on Engineer in the background. Engineer will fall before getting off the energy field. That is going to be huge. Glacial downpour coming out, though. In jumps Hammerstorm. The Bat Blast going to be used. That Slex is in. He's just spinning through it all, though. He didn't take any damage, it seemed like. And he is still tearing up the Legion team. Wretched forced to blink away. Pharaoh also trying to run. Right now, it's a 3-for-1 exchange. Deadwood for the 3 on the Legion side. Pharaoh, the Gray Mummy Walls actually will be enough of a block, it looks like. And Super KGE will survive, but I will say, Swiftblade with that spin, he mitigated so much damage potential there as a result of it, and he was able to, I'm sure, tear up the Legion team.
Yeah, he crit there 4 times in a row on the Pharaoh there at the end. But it really looks like to me that Hammerstorm really needs the Shrunken Head. It feels like a very, very late Shrunken Head. This is the guy that was just free farming in your bottom lane.
It is.
But actually doesn't even have 300 GPM. So that's a big problem for this team. Their Suicide Hag now has more farm than you. And he's doing well in these team fights. His Vat Blasts are connecting and they're hitting a lot of players. But Krebson just not able to get that Shrunken Head up. But even then, in the later stages of the game, it's not going to do that much, actually, because the Swift Slashes obviously go through that, as does the ultimate from Deadwood. So
yeah,
it'll be good for mitigating the stuns and whatnot from Pebbles and Myrmidon and Luna, what have you. But he still doesn't have this.
You're right. I'm actually very shocked by that, the fact that he doesn't have it. We announced the Mighty Blade attack for a while now, and it's just been sitting on it. I mean, how many times has he died? He is 0-3-9, so he's been involved. Hasn't gotten any kills, obviously, though. It definitely has a 9 assists, which helps, but yeah, the 3 deaths on top of that, so not good news for Lions there. You did talk about the Wretched Hag, though, how she has stepped up as a top farmer for the team, but still, you have a Swiftblade at 421 gold per minute now. Actually, Frostburn finished on him. Is the route he's going to choose to go here. And again, he is level 16 on top of that, so having the extra 3 bounces now as a result. Hell, if it goes to Staff and the Master, he could even have more. Oh no, that reduces the cooldown. Yeah, it does also. It adds some slashes. Anyways, probably not going to do that, so who cares? Shrunken Head, okay, it is finally finished on Krebson, so he was just waiting on the pattern this whole time, it looks like. So he does finally purchase that, and he will have a Shrunken Head now, at least. So
yeah, but what I was getting at is, like, that's not like a game-breaking pickup.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Deadwood ult and the Swift ult can still go through that, and they will still do a lot of damage to you. So, but like I said, it will stop the initiation from Pebbles and his stuns and all that jazz. But they got to make something different happen in these team fights. I believe also Engineer died before he was able to get his ulti off. Like, they focused him, as they should be. That's really what you should do if you're Stay Green. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I remember making a big point of that in that fight. I mean, it was Deadwood, I think, jumped him, and then Swiftblade followed it up, and Engineer literally did nothing that whole fight, so that was big. And speaking of Engineer, he actually has a Soul Scream picked up, so he's working on an Energizer, Engineer Energizer, which could be coming up here shortly. Kongor is falling. Now, Tormented Soul will spot them doing, and actually Swiftblade getting locked down by Kongor right there. He'll actually portal key away to make sure he is safe, so they tried to kind of sneak a Kongor kill in there, but Lion was not going to have any of that, especially with a Pharaoh. It can be very difficult, of course, to be sneaky about it. So, easily spotted out. Granted, Kongor did lose a lot of life, but not going to fall. And Lion actually going to try to be sneaky themselves. They're going around to the bottom lane. We'll see if they can get a jump. Actually, Portkey just used by Swiftblade and a spin. This could be a timing for them to go. And yes, there we go. The Wrath of Pharaoh does connect. He talents away right immediately. Hammerstorm is going to throw this up. Swiftblade is a good distance away. Lion realizing that it's not the best of initiation, and they will fall back. So interesting stuff, though.
That was a very quick tablet by Skyzo.
Yeah.
That was so damn fast. It looked really funny. It like bounced him backward. It's like he ulted and that bounced him away. He like turned his body away right after he hit the ultimate on Swift, but yeah, not able to get anything from it. I do love this build though that Slicks has for Swift. Like, I do question a lot of his item builds on certain other heroes, but this one it really works well with him.
Yeah.
He has a double damage actually bottled that was given to him by Deadwood. And they're going to finish Kongor. He can solo it basically with the Abyssal Skull up on him as well.
Yeah, and there you go. He goes into the pit. There is this ward of sight here, but I don't know if they could actually see all the way to the pit necessarily. So they probably have an idea, but as you mentioned, the double damage, you look at him critting for 557 even on multiple attacks. It will fall, and we will now see a token of life on a Swiftblade. Big, of course, coming out for Stay Green there. So 33 minutes into this game. 6,400 golded, about a 3,000 experience for Stay Green, but that right there, perhaps the most important thing of it all, getting that token of life on a Swiftblade, and may right away try to make use of it here, actually.
Well, it's huge because you had so many easy ways, honestly, to initiate on Swiftblade and kill him. Starting up with the Hellflower onto Wretched Hag, but now it's futile. You can't do that anymore with the Token of Life being up onto him. You'd waste all your spells and die in the process. So
yeah,
you're gonna have to play a very passive game, I feel, for the next 7 minutes or so if you're Lions. Try to farm as much as you can, and then get some quick pickoffs. But as far as team fights go, not really the smartest move.
They were setting up, was Lions. They were really setting up to initiate right there, but in the end, SG, of course, knows they don't need to force anything, at least at this time. They fall back. By the way, looking at the map right now, there is only neither team has really been pushing towers by any means, but it is still a 3-to-1 tower kill advantage, it looks like, in favor of Stay Green, actually. So they also have that working in their favor. Pebbles at the top lane may be in some trouble. Wretched Hag all ready to go. He does have that Hellflower, of course. Keizu, you're in trouble, buddy. All 5 are coming up here. And unless, okay, he's going to blink away just in time, so that was very, very close. But he blinks away. Now this top tower going to be heavily pushed. It's already very low. Stay Green may actually look to defend this, though. I mean, they are somewhat nearby. They were just spotted right there by the Tormented Soul. Swiftblade, okay, I don't think there was a rune. He just actually using some bottle charges for the regen. But they may try to initiate right here, and vulnerability coming out. And actually, Stay Green is going to push them back to the point of denying this tower even. So Stay Green making their presence felt.
Yep. We might still see some initiation here. It looks like Lions still wants to go, but their bottom lane is getting pressure. They need to get out safely and just farm that. And regardless, and it looks like if they, Hag is forward to bottom, this might be a Q. Now that all 5 members of Stay Green are actually still so close to each other, to just push up top, and they probably will see little resistance because of that Token of Life being up on Swiftblade.
Energizer has been finished on Engineer, so again, Hanskin here really does continue to have some very good farm for being what basically is a secondary support here for Lion Esports Club. But as you put it, really, actually Farrell might be in some trouble. Deadwin nearly spotting him with the clear cutting as he's going through the trees right there. Farrell also might be spotting him. In fact, the Hellfire going to be as the Mummy Wall comes out. Swift Slashes jumps in front of Swiftblade. All out of Farrell right there. He's pretty damn tanky, though. Taking most of the damage. Swiftblade's now out of mana again. Over here to the side, though. Pebbles in the meantime taking some damage himself. Energy Field not used yet by Engineer, actually. Chucked there on the Wretched Hag, but Pebbles in some trouble. There's the Energy Field in the foreground. Great placement coming out right there. Pebbles is going to start dropping now. They really want to chase him down. Nice tap it, though, forward. He will be fine. Swiftblade will fall, but again, Token of Life bringing it back up. Deadwood jumps in. The kick's on, not going to hit. The Swiftblade jumps up with a spin. Hammerstorm beating an auto text. They will get the kill to Deadwood, but Hammerstorm now going to start dropping very quickly. Swiftblade doing his damage back at him. Down goes Hammerstorm. Engineer on the run. He actually ports back to base, but a hat trick coming out for Slicks right there. Obviously, the Token of Life doing work, but also Keizu staying alive with some great team support right there as well. That got a lot of baiting going on there. So,
well, that's just as simple as fighting. Fighting when you're down against a token. Like, it's just not smart. You have to go for much more favorable team fights than that. And you have to really look like you're ahead in these team fights to be able to actually take a team fight against a token like that when you're down. Also, even though that was a great, well-placed ultimate there by Engineer, you had the Shrunken Head already up on the Pebbles, which I didn't even notice, but did have that. I'm sure just picked it up, and it didn't do anything to him, as it's such a great pickup against. As it's a very needed pickup against Engineers. So that's a huge team fight there for them again. It just should not have been there because of the Token of Life up on a Swiftblade, who now has 4,500 gold to spend.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Engineer and the success that he's had as a secondary support for the team. But honestly, you look at Myrmidon and Illuna for that matter as well. The fact that not only Myrmidon but Illuna as well, despite even being really the ward bitch for this team, she has a tablet on top of Striders. She's farming, a comfortable 187 gold per minute herself. You compare that to Glacius, who still could, of course, not really doing that great. He's sitting on a power supply and Striders basically. So,
and look at Myrmidon. He's got 2,300 gold saved up on top of all the items that he has. So,
yeah, the bound die on him. What? Hellflower just picked up by Slicks. Right clicks a Hellflower. So
that's pretty strong actually against Wretched Hag. Yeah, I actually really like that pickup.
Damn.
Because I think if you're trying to build for like a DPS build onto Swiftblade to go carry to the late game, just auto attack your way to victory, it just doesn't really work out. So going these more interesting builds just seems to be, I don't know, I think a lot more effective, and I think it's going to pay off.
Yeah, seems like Slicks is getting your approval this game here, Trout.
Yeah, this game I like his item pickups.
You could say he's getting your seal of approval.
He's getting my seal of approval.
Is that happening? Ah, there we go. That's what we're waiting for. All right. So yeah, the Hellfire pickup. Back to farm he goes in the Ancients. Man.
Yeah, no, I really, really like his item pickups this game. They just all synergizes so well with Swiftblade.
I gotta say, I mean, I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but it continues to add up. I mean, look at we just saw Elder Parasite just purchased by Krebson, so he does get his next item, but again, it's been behind. So this was a free farming Hammerstorm at the beginning of this game. His items really aren't showing that now 38.5 minutes in. They definitely could have used a lot more out of him, so really unfortunate, but nonetheless, an Elder Parasite pickup, so his damage output, of course, will be a little bit better now. Although, of course, you got to be a little bit careful because of the 15% more damage taken.
It's funny, too, because honestly, Hammerstorm's a pretty good hero against Swiftblade. Like, you give yourself and your team lots of armor to prevent the damage from Swift. In general, you can pound into him with your ultimate, even through that spin. But just overall better team play in general from Stay Green.
Yeah.
Is persevering, and yeah, like I said, his farm is just not where it needs to be. It almost makes you wonder if he just went for a pure farming route, like Alchemist Bones, Shrunken Head, Elder Parasite, and just skipped the blink and just gone for a total battle build. That might have even been better this game.
Yeah. Well, he's going to use it right here to clean up some more ancient. Looks like to be double stack. Swan Mounds, that's an illusion, so never mind. He's just kind of scouting out with it when the Deadwood illusion. See Farrell saying hi and realizing quickly that it is just that, an illusion. So going to quickly take it out and then continue to fall back. Myrmidon's pushing this bottom lane by himself. He is actually level 16 as well. So that ulti form now is maximum potential, giving him the extra life, the extra damage, on top of the extra movement slow as well. So ulti form on Myrmidon. I know Myrmidon is a hero that obviously we don't really talk about often, specifically because we just never see him nowadays. But that ulti, it's actually pretty powerful for him. I mean, just if anything, for the survivability. I mean, he'll be able to tank a good amount of damage, as well as put out some good damage himself in the ulti form, honestly. So,
yeah.
The thing. In fact, look at the damage chart. Okay.
And he's level 16 now.
Yeah. So yeah.
He's one level lower than the Wretched Hag. That's pretty insane.
Yeah. See, Freak doing work there. Speaking of that, yeah, the experience again. It's a 10,000 experience, about 11,000 gold lead in favor of Stay Green. So. Continuing overall, I will say, for this being a Game 3 of the Losers Bracket Finals here for the Diamond Division, Cycle number 4, of course, this is a unique hero lineup for both teams. It really is. I mean, we got some heroes, more so, of course, on Stay Green side. I mean, your Swiftblade, your Myrmidon, having both Deadwood and Pebbles. Like, it goes to show you, though, you don't need those cookie-cutter everyday lineups to win even in big games like this.
Yeah, and I believe Swift actually just picked up his Shrunken Head. And that is like, he's max items, basically. But the thing about it is, like, if you really look at it, max items Swiftblade at 41 minutes, they're not, like, huge items. They're not, like, your Wing Bow, your Savage Mace, your Symbol of Rage. And that's why this is the kind of build that suits Swiftblade, I think, a lot better than going for those kind of items. Because he's stronger in the early to mid stage of the game. So, yeah. I really like it. And the Shrunken Head, like I said, the best tool against Engineer, and he's going to be able to walk through that ultimate to and fro and just have a field day with the enemy team.
Well, we do see a little bit of a push it now here by both sides of the matter. Actually, it looks like Stay Green, they'll fall back. And Lion's also going to start falling back, so both teams making a little bit of a move there, but neither one wants to commit to it. Again, this is Game 3 after all, and everything in a sense is on the line here. The winning team, of course, playing Trademark. The losing team finishing 3rd place here in Cycle 3, or excuse me, Cycle 4. Of course, very respectable still, but you want to win it all ultimately. See both of these teams. For Stay Green especially, trying to back-to-back. But TDM sitting comfortably, again, waiting in the Grand Finals, which that series is set to take place after this one. So again, definitely stay tuned, guys. We've had plenty of action already so far today, but still plenty more to come. Deadwood level 16. He is clear cutting through the trees here at the bottom. And if he catches somebody, Engineer was thinking about going down here, but man, look at Engineer again. Now he has a tablet as well. A tablet, portal key, Energizer. Really has just so many build-up items here.
Yeah.
Very, very useful for his team.
They're good, but they're not going to do anything against the Shrunken Heads. And these are the heavy hitters, honestly, for your team. So it's awesome to see an Engineer this farmed, but I don't know. They're going to have some pretty big plays here to come back from this one, I feel. They actually do spot out Swindle down here. as he's trying to be crafty and sit here below the trees. But I believe that the Pharaoh Tormented Soul spotted him out just the edge of it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So kind of taunt them a little bit, but not going to have any of that. Conqueror should be okay. Yeah, that he is up.
I was just about to say, well, at least they don't have a token of life on the Swiftblade to go up against.
They know, though. I think they did spot it with the Tormented Soul already. So they know the attempt was at least going out there. You see the good vision from Stay Green around the pit, though. So they have planned. In fact, I also saw a Luna throw coming out for extra vision. But yeah, obviously with them being Hellborn especially and having the advantage right now, you've got to say Stay Green is definitely in the good spot to take that Conqueror eventually in due time. So, ooh, I was going to say there was a good amount of gold being pulled up here on Hammerstorm, but he just purchased a Brutalizer. Interesting. Now, you know, the one thing you mentioned in the past about a Brutalizer specifically is the lack of attack speed. He does have another Parasite and Steam Boots. So.
Yeah, no, it's a good pickup actually here against the Swiftblade. I would have liked to see him maybe go for something a bit more tanky first, because he's just going to... I feel like he's going to get focused by Deadwood and just die, despite having all these items. And especially if he has an Elder Parasite active, he's going to take more damage. So... yeah, I mean, it's still a fine pickup. It's still good. I will say that they still have a very good opening into this game simply because Swiftblade does not have a token of life, and they can coordinate these fights accordingly. So if they get a big pickoff on the Swiftblade, starting up, of course, with the Hellflower from Wretched Hag, they need to make sure that buyouts aren't happening and they're still fighting amidst the team fight. So.
Yeah.
But a token of life, again, will change everything.
Oh, yeah, of course. And again, back to Conqueror we go. Stay Green knows that. Lion knows that. In fact, here we go. Okay, we are going to see initiation on the Swiftblade right there, but not really the biggest follow-up. Hammerstorm stun will hit. This is so awkward, though, from Lions. We're not really fully going. Deadwood will jump into the background. Pharaoh taking the Swift Slashes. There goes that jump in the background as well. Engineer fell before he got anything off once again. Also a kill on a Pharaoh. You see Hammerstorm kind of sitting his ground on a Swiftblade right there, doing plenty of damage, but not going to be nearly enough. Shrunken Heads are activated. Wretched Hag jumping back in, but down goes Hammerstorm right there. Swiftblade, just too many crits. Down goes Wretched Hag as well. That's going to be a genocide, and that may have done it right there for Stay Green. Like it was just so awkward from Lions. The initiation, the follow-up wasn't there. They weren't sure. Clearly some miscommunication.
I think Super KGE just went too far ahead of everyone else. Wretched Hag wasn't able to combo up the ultimate from Pharaoh with his own Hellflower because I think he was just simply out of range. And Super KGE knew it because after he ulted, he kind of walked away. He didn't want to fully go out onto Swiftblade. He was trying to wait until maybe Swiftblade like moved around or something, or until they found a better opening onto him with the Hellflower from Wretched Hag. That's the only way you can kill him. You have to start out with a Wretched Hag Hellflower, or at least have him ready when you ult by Pharaoh. So I think it was just a matter of he went too early and went too far away from his team.
Yeah, and you know we've talked about that from time to time with Pharaoh specifically. You got to be careful about that. That range is pretty damn good, and that's good for a lot of cases, but negative in cases like that where you outrange your own team, and it's like, wait a second, this wasn't a good idea. Yeah. All of a sudden, so.
And the fact that it's a Wretched Hag that you're too far ahead who also has a blink tells you just how far ahead of his team he was.
Yeah.
And it was just maybe just a sporadic thing, like I see an opening, I gotta go. But it might not have been the smartest decision, as it clearly wasn't, because they all 5 died and didn't get a single kill out of it.
Yeah, if they were in your budget support, that would have been a great initiation. But simply put, they just were not in range themselves clearly, and it failed. So this goes now to the point that you just stressed before that fight. At least they don't have a token of life. Well, guess what? They have a token of life now on top of 5,900 gold pulled up here on Slick's playing the Swiftblade. So. Really, he can open up that shop and pretty much right-click anything in it, and well, I wouldn't be surprised if he does. So
the funny thing is he doesn't really need any more items.
Yeah.
Like he can maybe get a post haste, but he has a token of life holding up a slot. Until then, he doesn't really need to replace anything. Everything is working just perfect for him.
True that. Yeah, I guess the post haste would be the only thing you could argue. What's the Shrunken Head at? I mean,
and he has 2 buyouts as well. So
yeah, so 9 seconds on the Shrunken Head. So
he sold the. Okay, now he goes for Genjiro instead of the blink. I think that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so he does have the portal key, goes to Genjiro. That's going to be delivered. It will give him a lot more damage.
Yeah.
And he still gets that mobility in a sense.
And it gives you the slow through the Shrunken Head initially when you pop out of that, which is great. I will say, though, okay, a couple other things about that team fight is Engineer didn't get his ulti off. They focused him down again. And I will say, though, that the Brutalizer on Hammerstorm actually did a lot of damage and did some work by stunning Swiftblade, but the rest of his team already dead. Not much else he could do other than that. So
again, it shows you that Lion still had a big chance in this game. It really did.
not
You are
coordinated
right.
enough.
Again, the coordination exactly wasn't there. One hero went in, the other one went out. I mean, it was miscommunication big time. And Stay Green took advantage. So, yes, okay, it's still there, but now it's just really you are in an awkward spot and very, very difficult now to come back from this. But obviously, you don't expect them to concede at this point. I mean, again, this is game 3. This is it. And the fact that they have any chance is enough for them to stay in it. So the top tower going to be pressured here by Lions, and vulnerability will come out, but there's no ports. And obviously, they don't necessarily know that. They may expect something to happen, but the bottom tower pushed in. They realize, okay, no one's coming. We can go ahead and push this ourselves. And that's what they will do. So kind of a 1-for-1 tower exchange right there. Between the two teams coming out. Pebbles is the one kind of just pushing this bottom lane. But actually, the teams can run into each other here in the middle lane. And right now, this is a numbers advantage for Lions. But Wardasite will spot them. And actually, look at that. Again, Gerald Swiftblade, he quickly starts charging in. That'll get Lions to kind of go in retreat mode. So there was a chance for some fighting to happen. But in the end, both will fall back. And, of course, Lion wants to try to wear out that token, whereas Stay Green, they may look to push here now shortly.
Double damage up on the Hammerstorm. I feel like if they had any kind of opening, this might be it.
Yeah.
Of course, Funsmeister just ported bottom to push that out, though, so he's kind of far away from his team. But
Look at Slicks. He's just all the way down here by himself. That's the real Swift play.
yeah, he has the mass mobility now
Yeah.
from the double invis from Genjiro. Has a token of life, shrunken head. He doesn't afraid of anything.
Wretched Hag, you are in trouble. Post haste picked up, by the way, as well by the Hellborn team. Look at Wretched Hag just disintegrating right there to Swiftblade alone.
Wretched Swiftblade.
Wretched Swiftblade, yeah. You saw Myrmidon port in with the post haste, but it didn't even matter. That was just all Swiftblade right there. So he is now on a Savage Sick. Wretched Hag, no buyback. She just purchased a plate mail, I believe. And then she dies shortly after. So
and even with all that armor she actually has 23.5 armor.
Yeah.
But still Swift just dishing out way too much damage right now.
Clearly too much. She is down for another 50 seconds here. This is the go-to time, if any, now for Stay Green to really just go cutthroat and finish this game. Again, the token of life still has 3 minutes remaining on top of that. So yeah, Lions, they're going to try to do a little bit of a counter push at the top lane, but, you know, really, can they commit to this is the question. I mean, if anything, they might go for a little bit of a trade right here, but I don't even know if Sigrid will let that happen. They are a little bit further ahead as far as this push. They have the numbers advantage, but here we go. The Lions figuring they really can't defend, so they might as well go for it. Hammerstorm still isn't with them yet, so that definitely hurts. And there go the racks. So Stay Green easily clearing out the racks way before Lions does anything. There we go, the tower. So the racks are going to start dropping. Hammerstorm does plenty of damage, as you see, but now the bottom lane being taken out, as well as Swiftly putting an illusion on the World Tree towers. But Lions has had enough. They realize, okay, 2-for-1 racks exchange. They need to fall back. So they're going to start porting back. Wretched Hag is up. Look at Swiftplay sitting here right. He puts the Hellfire. The Swift touch and just tears through Glacier. In the meantime, Pharaoh jumped in the background. But here's the energy field coming out from Engineer. Hammerstorm just sitting back, literally. He's not doing anything just yet. Wretched Hag blinking away. But, yeah, it's over. That trick coming out right there for Swiftblade. I think that's going to officially do it.
Yeah, he's just dishing out insane damage at this point. And there's really nothing that Lions can do. They put up a good fight. They tried to do some trading, but yeah, it's really over at this point. Swiftblade has another 6k gold to spend if he wants, but he actually could just kill his token and buy like a wing bow or something.
Hammerstorm, he thought about going in, but he gets jumped himself first. Hellflower coming out. He gets locked
That's a
down.
Hammerstorm.
Look at those crits. Yeah, that was a Hammerstorm as you put it. He just gets locked down. Wretched Hag falls as well. Slick's got to be close to that Immortal even, as he is now spinning on top of Hammerstorm after the buyback. Again, Hammerstorm can put out some decent damage, and actually Pebble's going to fall victim to that, it looks like. As VS crept in, we'll get the kill. Swiftblade now falling back as well. He still has that token for another minute. So it does seem like Lions is still going to hang in there. Hope for the best. Obviously, getting a little bit of overcommitment there from our Hellborn side. Now, the top lane was being pushed in with the creep wave. The defensive tower did take some damage at the shrine, so at least Lions got something there. But
yeah. Yeah, but you still have the token. I actually thought that maybe Swift was going to man up right there, just use the token, but if he died, he'd just be the only one and didn't have his ulti up because he used it on a solo Glacius.
Yeah, so
but it was kind of funny, and just Glacius like, real. All right.
it's just dead.
Just got destroyed in literally less than a second. But
Here comes the rest of the team once again, though.
He wants to just get rid of the token right now.
Ooh! They went in, and the Kexton does connect, actually. Swiftblade may fall, yeah, but as you said, he's like, go ahead, kill me. Okay,
Perfect.
token alive, coming back up. Wrath of the Pharaoh was used. I think it missed, actually. But yeah, Swiftblade's good to go. Hammerstorm and everyone else falling back, trying to tank the creep waves amongst fighting the heroes here. It becomes very difficult, of course, for obvious reasons. And now the World Tree is exposed. So, they do have a little bit of a push here at the top lane, still kind of working. But World Tree is exposed. Here we go. This is absolutely pops the Shrunken Head. Here comes a jump from the Legion team trying to stall it. If anything, Deadwood just takes out Glitch in the meantime. Hammerstorm jumps in as Swiftblade going to start spinning. Hammerstorm still trying to find it. Finally catches up, but look at the lockdown on the Hammerstorm. As soon as he does, he just gets melted. He cannot buy back. And the World Tree will fall now. So Stay Green will defeat Lion Esports Club 2-1 here in this best of 3. Wow, what a crazy series. That series took a while for one, but Stay Green, not only do they lose the first game, but they come back, man, in game 2 and 3 with Skyzo replacing Insania.
Yeah.
After that whole issue, remember, where he kept on DCing at the end of game 1. Skyzo steps in and, just like old times, wins it. So,
can I say we were right? We were right.
No, but the finals, you're right.
Yeah.
TDM versus Stay Green. It is going to be that finals matchup as we both projected on our podcast recently, so definitely taking credit for that. Yeah, that was a hell of a series, though. Lion, again, can't be too disappointed in the end. They do finish 3rd place overall, and that is their best finish to date. And I'm sure going to have many more great results to come.
Yeah.
But in the end, Stay Green taking the series 2-1. So.
Yeah, they looked pretty good, and it was a very fun lineup. And honestly, at first, it was just like I didn't know what was going on. You had a roaming Deadwood who was at first suicide after the switching it up.
That's true. And
then Swiftblade with Myrmidon against a Hag, like who has the blink ability. It just seemed crazy, but in some weird way, it worked out, and they got a lot of farm under their Swiftblade. Again, I just feel like Hammerstorm couldn't find the amount of farm that he needed to have, and. But yeah, they just simply outplayed him. Like, I don't think there's any other way to say it. I think SG just simply outplayed Lions that game.
Yeah, no problem saying that at all. Definitely did that game especially. So, 2-1 in favor of Stay Green. That means, though, we are now set out for our grand finale here for cycle number 4 for the Diamond Division and HoN Tour. We have Trademark Esports going to be going up against Stay Green in these grand finals. These are the 2 teams that have won cycles before. Will Trademark win their 3rd cycle, or will Stay Green go back-to-back? Trademark will be up 1-0 here in this best of 5, as they are coming from the winner's bracket. In fact, defeating Stay Green 2-1 in the winner's final. So
that's right.
You got to remember that as well. It's a kind of a rematch in that sense. So yeah, a lot is on the line here. Obviously, we are going to take a break, of course, in between matches. But with this first one running actually a little bit long, the stream will stay on. So we'll keep the stream on. We're going to take a little bit longer than 3-minute break, of course, but we'll definitely give you some updates if anything. But we should be coming back here in the near future with our grand final matchup, Trev.
Yeah.
Trademark versus Stay Green. Anything to say before we go to break?
I'm very excited to see this. This is the match we projected from the, well, I wouldn't say the beginning, but as the bracket started to show itself, that I think this is going to be the best matchup, honestly. I think these teams are going to play very, very close by and have some epic team fights and all that jazz. Should be good to watch.
Should be a lot of fun. You do not want to miss it. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. We have some kick-ass Heroes of New Earth coming at you. Stay tight. Wow. Stay tuned. Sit tight. We'll be right back. Game number 1 of the grand finals coming up shortly. Stay tuned, guys.
What's up, guys? Killer Orange here. We are going to turn the stream off just for a minute, try to fix a computer issue, but we'll be back up in less than 5, and then we'll be on to the grand finals.